Now let's look at a whole pilchard rigged on gangs. Now gangs, you ask me, what are they? Okay, gangs are 3 hooks ganged together. Quite simple. You can buy these from most tackle shops pre-made, but I've always liked to make them up myself. Quite simple to make. The hooks I buy come with an open eye. Just simple as running the hooks through the eye like so, and you need a pair of pliers for this. And I find multi-grips work really well because you can get right back in there and just simply close the eye. And then you'd obviously have 3 hooks. We'll just do it with 2 for this little piece. And put a swivel on the top. And again, just close the eye. Nice and easy. I find the swivel's good at the top. Just take some of the twist out of the pilchard. So putting a whole pilchard onto a gang is quite simple. Lay your pilchard sideways, lay the hook along the body of the pilchard, lining the top hook up with its eye socket. Push down firmly with your thumb at the back to mark the pilchard, and you can see there, that's exactly where we want to push the hook through. So we push one in through there, turn the hook square to the pilchard, turn the second one right along the lateral line of the pilchard, and the third hook should just drop nicely in through its eye. And there you have it, a whole pilchard on a gang. Now you can also add a bit of weight if you want to by simply putting a ball sinker on top. We'll look at pilchards first. Okay, the humble pilchard, a couple of simple ways we can use these as bait. With your knives, you've got a couple of different knives. One's a filleting knife, nice and soft for filleting. And then we've got a general bait knife, a little bit firmer, which is what I prefer for doing cut baits. So first we'll look at a half pilchard. Have a tail section. The way we put these on is lay the hook like so, and then turn the hook around and come out the pilchard, exposing it, and then a simple half hitch around the tail. Now you can vary your lead on top of that, depending on the amount of water flow or current you may be fishing in. So that's a simple tail section of a pilchard. Okay. So the second one we're going to do is the head section. The head section, I go through the eye cavity first, twice. So take the hook through once, twice, and don't worry about if the eyeball comes out, no drama. Go through twice, turn the pilchard over, tuck the hook just under its gill plate, and bring the point out, like so. Then gently tighten the main line towards its eye cavity. Now the bridge section across this eye cavity is the strongest point, so that'll keep it nice and tight. And there you have it, the head section. Both great baits. And the third one I want to show you is a cube bait. These are fantastic fish down a burley trail. Just nice and easy. Cut your pilly into little cubes. Pick up a cube. I can feel the bone between my finger, each side. Just drop the hook just under the bone. Now the point doesn't need to come out. The pilchard cubes are nice and soft. That fish down the burley trail is just a mouthful for any fish. Let's talk about live bait. As you can see, this little fella's not alive anymore, but I thought I'd bring him along because it's a commonly asked question. Where do I put the hook when I'm fishing with a live bait? So this is a common species that we catch through New South Wales estuaries. It's a yellowtail. You've got a lateral line that runs along his body that you can clearly see. You want to make sure you go above that. So one way is just to drop the hook in like so, above that lateral line. Okay, and he'll stay alive for quite a while there, like that, no problems. And most pelagic fish take them by the head anyway, so they're going to swallow that area and they're going to hook up, and that's the way I tend to fish 90% of the time. The other way, if you're going to slow troll a yellowtail, is probably to go through the nose cavity, like so, through the front of the yellowtail. That way he'll swim the correct way if you're slow trolling him. So there's 2 simple ways to put live baits on. the humble prawn. Every angler at some stage has used prawns as bait. Let me run through 3 simple methods that I use commonly. If you're using live prawns, simply pin the prawn through the tail like so, and drop your little lead down on top. Now that's a deadly bait for flathead in the estuary systems. The other way, if you were going to drift a bait along the bottom, would be to pin the prawn through the tail, roll it down the body, and this would be a dead bait. And that'll work really well for drifting. The shell provides it with a little bit more protection when you're bouncing over the bottom. And my favourite method for prawns is to peel the prawn. Take the head off, take the shell off, and like so, and thread him on. And there you have it, a pearl prawn. That's probably my favourite bait. Fantastic fish down the burley trail. Nice bite-sized piece for any fish. Now if you're looking at your prawns, these are starting to blacken up. We've had them in the sun for a little bit today. Don't be worried about that. I've found with prawns, the more off they are, the better they work. Especially if you're targeting your bream across the flats. Bream aren't fussy. If the prawn's got a lot of smell to it, they'll work fine. So don't be too concerned about that. If the prawns are off a bit, don't toss them out. Save them for your next trip. You'll find they're better than the fresh prawns you've just bought. Let's look at squid for bait. I don't muck around trying to catch fresh squid. I have over the years and spent too many hours trying to catch squid and not getting the results. So now what I do is buy these commercially caught squid tubes, which are restaurant quality. Now, if I feel like I feed a squid at home, I just duck out to the bait freezer, grab a few tubes, me and the wife sit down to a beautiful salt and pepper squid. But for bait, fantastic. All we need to do, slicing down the middle, like so. Now if you're chasing kingfish and jewfish, I'll just get him where we can see him there. Take a cut through there, run it down, put a few little cuts in the back of him, just to give him some natural presentation. Take your hook and simply run it through the top of the bait, and there you have it. That would be a fantastic bait for kingfish or jewfish. Now if you're using a smaller hook and you want to use little strip baits for your bream, flathead, trevally, many of your estuary species, again, smaller hook, drop the hook through twice, like so. I like to leave a nice long dangly tail, and I get great results from that.